Hello. Hello and welcome to my first YouTube live. I this is this is my very first YouTube live, and I wanted to do this celebration because earlier this week I reached 1,000 subscribers, which is quite a huge milestone. And I've realized I've never done any Q&A, and perhaps you have questions about me, about the channel, and I thought this would be a great opportunity to get to know each other a bit better. Welcome. I can see there is one person who joined this live, so welcome. Could you let me know if you can hear me? I think you can, because I've got a bit thing of the on the voice, so I hope you can. Otherwise, let me know. But yeah, I'm super grateful for everyone on this channel, every person, every viewer who's decided to join. Sorry, this is not quite what I expected, but basically I am super grateful for everyone who has watched any of my videos and liked it and commented and decided to subscribe. Basically, I am so grateful. I would never ever imagine to be able to have so many people interested in my channel, so this is very humbling. When I started this channel, I had a different focus in mind. It was my own journey about losing weight, using the carnivore diet. And then I realized I was just going around in circle, and I wasn't interested in sharing that anymore. So one of my passion has always been about cooking. I was very lucky to have a grandmother who was an incredible cook and who taught me a lot of things. And that's how I learned how to cook and how to share my passion. And so I thought, because I was doing carnivore, I needed to get some interesting and tasty recipe to get me going. And that's how I basically started this channel, just to share what I found was really nice and not as boring. I know a lot of people think that eating a carnivore diet is very boring, but actually it isn't. There are a lot of different animals possible, and each animal has different cuts, and all the cuts have different flavors and texture, and depending on how you cook them, it even adds to it. And then you can add all the desserts, which which are quite a lot. Even though when you're on a carnivore, you don't really focus on eating dessert. It's still nice to have some sweet stuff. So yeah, this is how I started this channel. I had many challenges because I'm a new YouTuber, so I had to learn how to use my camera, how to use the lighting, how to use, the tripod to make it look nice, and then the editing. And then a friend of mine made me realize that sometimes, my pronunciation is not that great because I'm French. And yeah, it's not that I'm French, actually. It's that I learned English pretty late in life. I learned English at school, but I only came to London. I relocated to London in the UK when I was 25. And that's really when I learned how to speak English. And I think my pronunciation got stuck. And so then I learned how to add the captions. And then I realized when I worked on the captions, actually a lot of words are mispronounced. So I think it was a really good idea to add these captions. But then, yeah, slowly people started viewing my recipes and liking what they saw and leaving lots of comments. And that was incredible. I would never have imagined so many comments and actually adding value to my videos, because I always try to stick to carnivore ingredients whenever I can. For example, I use honey because it's the sweetener from the carnivore world, which is animal based. But then other viewers just added their experience and what they use and why they use it, and so that's really, really good. Really good. Sorry, I'm just checking if there is any comment or anything, because I'm still not sure if anyone can hear me. So I will just keep going until someone tells me otherwise. So yeah, so these comments made me realize actually I'm adding value to some people, or actually a lot more people than I expected. So it really encouraged me to keep going, and I started liking it. This channel is pretty young, actually, even though I started it in September last year. I really started doing recipes in August, and I've been posting about one video a week for most weeks, and yeah, so it's pretty new. Oh, thanks. Great. I've got my first comment. Thank you so much for commenting. Okay, so audio is great. Amazing. Thank you so much. This is embarrassing sometimes when you don't have anyone to give you some feedback. But anyway, yeah, so a bit about myself. As I said, I started this channel because I wanted to share my carnivore journey for losing weight, because I am 50, I've got a son, and I put on weight in perimenopause for many reasons, mainly stress related. And I studied the carnivore diet for a few years, and I did on and off, because I never had the courage to really commit to this way of life. And in January, when my uncle passed away from complications of diabetes, I had a massive wake-up call, because in the family we tend to get diabetes or pre-diabetes, and I'm like, okay, fine, I'm right in the age where insulin resistance just goes up, and so I have to do something about it. So that was a massive trigger for me to take my health seriously, to start really on the carnivore diet. And I was super strict for 6 months. And then I had some issues with sleep, which means that I wasn't sure if it was the carnivore diet or the other stuff going on in my life. But then I became less strict. And that's why this channel was all the more so important, so that I could keep enjoying recipes and eating mostly carnivore, if I'm really honest. So this is me. I am also by profession, my career is to be a nutritional therapist. And actually, that was really hard, because in my training, so it's a 3-year training, I was told about, plant-based diet, this kind of thing. And when I realized that this diet is suboptimal, and when you always need a lot of protein, a lot of good fats, that was a massive shift. And that's why it took me a while, as in years of hesitation, and then reading books and the literature and following some doctors, and really to make sure that this isn't dangerous for us. And it's not. I had to try it myself. I tried it for 1 week, for 2 weeks, for 1 month. And when I did 6 months, if I'm really honest, it's the best I've ever felt in my whole life. It's challenging, because it's not always easy if you don't eat at home to get organized, but it's just, the best feeling I've ever felt. And that's why, hence the channel. So I don't know if you have any Q&A for me. If you do, please leave the question in the comments. I can see the live chat, so it's really nice. before we get into that, I wanted to introduce you to my home, but it's quite late, so you can't probably see stuff. I've just done the Christmas tree for the occasion here, just behind me. And on the other side is my channel, my kitchen, where I film. But again, I don't know how much you can see of that. But yeah, this is where I live. This is a flat in central London in the UK. And I'm very grateful to have such a large kitchen, because in the UK, rooms are usually pretty small, but it's a converted flat. It used to be a factory, which is why the shape is really weird and compared to usual houses. And I don't know if you can see, no, this way here, you've got here, the other way here, you've got a very large windows, and that's not what it is in the UK. So questions. I noticed that sometime in the comment there are a bit of friction between some people about what carnivore is and what it isn't. And my philosophy about carnivore is that it's using food that comes from an animal, mostly. And that's why I use honey, because it's it comes from bees, an animal. And I know some people, they just can't really do that because they have some health conditions like diabetes or other conditions where sugar stuff is not that good for them. And I totally appreciate that. But my channel is not for super strict carnivore, as it meat only carnivores. I did a poll actually, which is still open. So if you want to vote, feel free to do that. It's in the community tab. And I asked my audience, what type of carnivores they are. And for most of them, they are mostly animal based, for 62%, which means that they eat a lot of meat, but it's not all what they eat. So that's pretty much my philosophy. So I guess, we're on the same page, which is super cool. And then next were strict carnivore, which means that they eat only animal products, for 28% of our viewers. And then we've got recipe enthusiasts, which 7%, which means that, they just take the best recipes and they try them. And then the strictly carnivore, the one that only eat meat, are 3% of my channel, at least those who voted. So I'm doing according to that. I also added a poll about what to see on this channel, because it's a recipe channel, but then recipe, you've got like savory and sweet, and apparently we know for 71% it's going to be, they want to see a mix of both sweet and savory. So I'm going to try to do one each from now on. I've noticed so far, what's really interesting is my sweet recipes tends to do a lot better, like two to three times better than my savory recipes. And I'm surprised, but I guess it's probably because my savory recipes are not that exciting, perhaps. And my philosophy for cooking is actually very simple. It's all about flavor. For me, it's, if you don't enjoy the food, you will not eat it. And that's why I always try to keep it flavorful first and then simple to cook. I love cooking, but I don't like to spend hours and hours in the kitchen. I would do occasionally, but not most of the time. So if I could prepare something and then it cooks a long time, that's fine. Or if prepare something that takes a long time and then batch cook so that, it saves me time at other moment, that also very fine for me. But spending more than 20 minutes, it's usually not my thing. So my recipe, that's why I call my recipe easy and simple, because I think anyone should be able to do it. And I'm also teaching my son, actually, my 9-year-old son, to cook. And I want him to be able to reproduce that. I want him to be a man who can cook, unlike a lot of men in my family, and that's also why I do that. And he really enjoys all my recipes, and he's the best feedback person I could ever wish for, because if a child can eat it and enjoy it, and because they are so spontaneous about their feedback, I think an adult would probably like it. So I think that's great. And yes, so my recipe tends to be simple, easy, and just tasty, delightful, or it's just about enjoying life. Well, and then for the future, yeah, I will keep doing recipes. I will get back to a strict carnivore diet, and I think I am going to share that again, but not on a weekly basis, more on a monthly basis, for perhaps those who want to try a stricter carnivore approach, to realize what it means and what kind of what can happen. I think it can be interesting for those people, and also for me, because it's an amazing accountability tool. Committing to something on social media is very powerful. I realized that when I started this channel, it's just something that you would not expect. So that's also why I want to do that. So recipes, savory, sweet, my own journey on a carnivore diet, and perhaps I will keep doing some videos now and then on nutrition tips and hacks and stuff. I think sometimes it's important. I did one video on iron and the difference between heme iron, which is comes from an animal, and those that come from plant. And I had actually very, very good feedback about it. The video didn't do that well, but the feedback for those who watched the video was quite incredible, because people don't realize that. I think on with the media, iron is iron, and iron is not iron, and it's the same for a lot of things. And sometimes I think the media, they want to raise awareness, which is amazing, but the problem is they oversimplify nutrition, and this backfires big time, because someone who thinks that they're eating a lot of a mineral may not actually absorbing this mineral. And that's why I might do more of this video again. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I didn't know what to expect from this first live, so I hope you're enjoying it. If you have any feedback at all on the channel, feel free to drop here in the live chat box or on the videos. It's always very good to know what you think, what you like. I'm also trying to add a lot more posts on the community, in the community section, so that I know what you're interested in, and to listen to you, because I'm doing that for you, for both of us. And it's it's a very nice place. So for me personally, what I'm going to try doing going forward is posting 2 videos a week, hopefully one savory and one sweet recipe, and adding now and then another post, because what I like to do is get monetized. I know it's a big thing for YouTuber, but given the time we spent learning about doing YouTube and actually doing the video, I think being monetized, even if it's just a little bit, it makes you feel like you're doing something for something, and so it can compensate the time you do. So that's a thing. And that's my next milestone. I'm definitely not there. I'm far from there, because I realized that my videos are quite short, and to get monetized, you need 4,000 hours, and I'm at the very beginning of that, and that's okay. It's a journey, and I'm already super grateful to be monetized in such a short period of time. To be monetized, sorry, to reach 1,000 subscribers in such a period of time. So again, thank you so, so much for everyone who's decided to join my channel. It's honestly something that I would not even imagine at this point. And yeah, thank you so much for joining us today, and have a lovely weekend, and see you soon. Bye.